Hello and welcome. I'm Mayor Michelle Kaufusi, and we are really excited to bring back Conversations with Kaufusi. A lot of people have been asking to bring this back, and we thought, let's do it, and why not do it with one of the great rock stars of our Provo City organization. I am here out at our beautiful airport terminal with the director, Brian Torgerson. Hi, Brian.
Hi, Mayor.
So I just want to start with you taking us back. Let's go back 5 years. What did this look like? And then walk us forward.
Sure. So a lot has happened in 5 years. And truly the floodgates of awesomeness have opened in Provo, just blown open in Provo, but especially here at the airport. So just actually 6 years to the day, April 1st, 2019, Governor Herbert signed the bill that appropriated $9 million in state funding to go with $4.3 million in county funding that started this project off. And since then, we haven't looked back. So in 2019, when we started the project, we had 112 flights a month in and out of the airport to 3 or 4 destinations. Since opening the facility in July of 2022, we've had 2.2 million visitors through our building. We now serve 840 flights this last month in and out of the airport to 16 nonstop destinations. And so really it is truly an entirely different place from where it was 5 years ago.
I've had people say, last time I flew out was 6 years ago, and I haven't been back, and then I came back, and wait, what?
Yeah,
we felt like we were on a whole different planet.
Absolutely. We really went from a facility that you almost felt embarrassed to like, right? Because it was so small, and so, the baggage barn that we had, you picked up your bags underneath a carport, to just 5 years later, this facility that truly is state of the art. We're getting national attention. We're the fastest growing commercial airport in all of the entire United States. And we're turning heads and adding routes and serving nearly 1 million people every single year. And that's just expected to increase.
It's just so, literally just blows my mind, because this was such a little bit of a gamble for me, because when the idea first came up and I said, should I do this? What's so magic? Because everyone kept saying, oh, don't worry, Mayor, it's going to happen in 30 years. It's on the 30-year plan. And I just kept pushing back on all of our friends saying, so what's magically going to happen in 30 years? I think we should at least go for it now and see if we can get it faster. And, it was just fascinating. For me, sometimes I'm a little risky, because I take risks and it could go really good or really bad. And this was one of those. And so we are just so excited that it went really good.
Yeah, and it has, and people love it. The experience is unmatched as far as commercial air service goes. People can't wait to fly out of Provo again, and they want more. And so we're ready to give them more.
Isn't that exciting? So tell me, what is it like working at the Provo Airport when you come to work? I'm just looking out over our beautiful room here and looking down, and almost every seat is full. Mm-hmm. Everyone seems happy. It's warm and cozy in here. It's beautiful, clean. There's beautiful airplanes. I know when we built this, we wanted the art to be the valley and the mountains.
Absolutely.
And boy, we knocked it out of the park. Everywhere
Absolutely.
you look is just the beauty of this community and this valley.
Yeah, it's truly stunning when people get off of a plane who maybe have never been to Provo. I can't tell you how many times I've walked out front and people are there with their cell phones, just with their mouth gaping open, just to that view of the Wasatch Mountains here at our front, at our front door that we take for granted every single day, and it's just so beautiful. And this facility captures that beauty for every passenger that comes in and out.
It's so great. So
to answer your question,
what is it like working at the airport?
What is it like working at the airport? So my background's a little interesting, having been in engineering my entire career, and then so it used to be when I would drive around with my family, I'd look at roads and sidewalks and say, oh, they did that right or they did that wrong. But my wife commented to me, he's like, you're such a geek. Now all you do is look at flight radar to see who who's on that airplane and where they're going when we're at a soccer game in St. George or wherever. And so it's so fun to just be immersed in the aviation industry and really make a difference for so many people, because really that's what makes it fun, is to come on a Monday morning and see the parking lot full and just see how many people are experiencing excellence here in Provo.
Love it. So if there's one thing that, if you think of your job, what is your favorite part of the one thing about your job? What would that be?
Yeah, so it's certainly a challenge. Every day is different, and you know all about that as a mayor, right? So just when you think your schedule's set for the day, you come to work and you don't get to any of it. But that's the exciting part of it. But my favorite part is meeting people who absolutely excel in their area of expertise. And there's so many people that have a part in making this facility and this airport a success, all the way from our boots on the ground specialists that are amazing at what they do. They're incredibly dedicated, all the way to our managers who are dealing with the federal agencies and all of the regulations that we have to deal with. It's just amazing, the dedication and just how good people are at what we've asked them to do.
Well, you have one of the things I admire about you is you're really good at bringing people together and winning their loyalty. And that's a great skill, and you have that skill, because your folks that work for you, they will go to the mat, and that is amazing, because all of us in government, we never have excess. We're always kind of on a shoestring budget, and you know, everyone's double training, and you have just taken that leadership skill and won these people over, and they love you and are fine to stay late and come early just because of your relationships you've built. So I really admire that about you.
Well, thank you, Mayor. So it's one thing, the staff here at the airport's pretty diverse, both from backgrounds and education and all those sorts of things. And so I feel strongly that they may never sit in my seat, but I can sure make sure I sit in theirs to know exactly what they deal with every day. And that's another part of my favorite thing of working at the airport, is one day I may be plowing snow alongside those guys and gals, and the next day I'm meeting with airlines and legislators and senators and just advocating for the airport. And that's my style, and that's what makes it fun for me.
And you're really good at it.
Thank you, Mayor.
So tell me, is there one specific little secret about the airport that you wish you could share with people that they might not know, an amenity or something that we have here that people might not be aware of?
You know, we have a lot of things that are special about the experience here in Provo. It's smaller, it's more convenient, it's faster. Our airline partners offer an amazing product. But I think the one thing that people experience, you know, it could be our family lounge, right? But a lot of airports have family lounges. And so I think the one thing that truly makes a difference is the people. And that's anything from the TSA to our concessions providers to our police officers that are patrolling.
I know, when I put when we put these officers out here, I told them, you're not just an officer, you're an ambassador for the city of Provo. You greet people, you engage. I mean, you literally are one of the first touches people will have, because they're roaming everywhere,
and they do such an amazing job.
They do such an amazing job
really
at welcoming people, and is it your first time to Provo? They're doing a great job, but we're all really ambassadors since this is new, and we're all here to make everyone comfortable and have a wonderful experience here.
Absolutely.
Okay, so tell me, what are the passenger trends that we're seeing at the airport, and what do we anticipate it will happen with those trends?
So, you know, stepping back into the history of just this facility, we have doubled passengers each of the last 2 years. And that's slowed down and expected to slow down in 2024 just because we're at capacity.
Yeah.
And so airlines are asking for more space. They're asking for more opportunities. And so we're trying to react to that. One way we've done that is we've added a gate 5. And we've had a little fun with that, whether it's a play on Harry Potter, you know, and platform 9 3/4, or poking at Salt Lake International a little bit. We've had some fun with that, but we see that need for additional gates to allow our airlines to operate those routes at times that are advantageous and that the people will want to fly them. And so that's part of our expansion plans as well.
Yeah, so speak to that. What are our improvement plans for all the demands that we're getting ready to start?
We are ready to kick off construction. We will have a groundbreaking ceremony on April 14th at 10 a.m.
We're excited.
And that will begin construction that will last approximately 3 years until we're complete with a full 10-gate expansion that will accommodate so much more of our airline partners, new airline partners, and increased routes from the airline partners that we have. So we're really excited about that.
Who would have thought, right? I mean, we just kind of thought, let's just hope this first piece works.
Right.
And then, wow.
And less than 3 years later, we're already breaking ground on more than tripling the size of our facility, which is incredible. And so those passenger trends are trending that way.
Yeah.
We keep expecting month over month to see that seasonal up and down.
Yeah.
And in months where we would expect it to dip, we're actually breaking records for more passengers than we've ever seen. And so we're continually surprised at how well people are receiving the services offered here.
So talk to me about what are the opportunities like for people looking to travel through the Provo Airport, and where can they go?
Yeah. So as I mentioned earlier, 16 nonstop destinations. So 3 of those are actually served by one or more carriers. So a lot of nonstop opportunities there, but kind of the landmark occurrence this year has been adding American Airlines and their network to our offering here at Provo. So with a one stop in Dallas and Phoenix, you can literally go anywhere in the world, and we've adopted that tagline of anywhere you want to go, fly Provo. And that is, I experienced that for myself the first time just a couple of weeks ago, flying from Provo to Dallas and then onward. And it's truly an awesome experience to be able to fly out of Provo for one, but then it's almost better to come home.
It's the best.
And just, you land, you get to the gate, within less than 10 minutes you're in your car.
Yes.
And that's something that the big boys up north can't replicate. And so we're pretty proud of that.
That's true, it's so true. Last month, I was having to take a flight back to DC for work, and you know, it's a late flight coming back in because you don't want to be gone from work, so you take the worst flights, and you're flying in and it's late, and you look down, you're like, there's Provo, just drop me off. But no, you have to keep going into Salt Lake City, and I just think that is the beauty of our Provo Airport. You can land and be home and on the road, well, at least on the road within 10 to 15 minutes and home. And that's
Absolutely.
such a selling point for everyone. And that's one of the things I hear the most about, is they love that so much,
Absolutely.
that component. So tell me about what are we doing to attract new airlines and routes?
Sure. So the best thing we can do to attract new airlines and new routes is be successful in the ones that we're offering currently. And I think that's been a huge success. Our story is out there, and people, you know, especially our current partners, but as well, you know, additional airlines that are looking at what's happening in Provo. And so that helps a ton. Go team, right? As far as and I always tell people, if you don't like the offerings or the airlines that are here, use the ones that are here, because that just shows the others that maybe you would prefer to have here that Provo's legit.
Yeah.
And people want to fly this facility, even if it's not their preferred airline.
Yeah.
And so that's the number one thing that we can do, is just get people in these seats and show the other airlines that, hey, we're here to stay, and we are an amazing option to Salt Lake International. The other thing we do is we meet regularly with every single airline in the industry. We tell our story, we sell Provo, and it's so easy to sell Provo. because there's so much that's amazing about Provo, and its people and its business community. And so those are important things that the airlines look at, especially the business community and the potential for business travel. So we tell that story, and you are doing such an amazing job of telling that citywide, so that it makes our job much easier to do that. And really the goal is to then get one-on-one conversations at their headquarters, and we've had a number of those, and we're excited about some of the possibilities that we can't share too much about, but we look forward to good things happening in the future.
Yeah, it's always really exciting when people reach out to us and we think to ourselves, we've been trying to get a hold of these people for years, and now they want to fly in and meet with us. We love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's so exciting, and you're becoming such a big deal. You've been asked to speak at conventions on how you've been able to manage this airport. It's just so exciting, and we're just all so proud of you leading us in this airport. So I have another question. Talk to me about how are we prioritizing security and emergency preparedness to ensure our passengers' safety?
Yeah, so safety is number one priority. That is so much of our responsibility that goes unseen. It's happening morning, noon, and night. Inspections to making sure that our airfield is safe. We have a dedicated wildlife biologist here on staff that we partner with the Utah Fish and Wildlife Service, or U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, the Mitigation Commission, and the Delta Restoration Project, making sure that wildlife is not a concern, which in an airport environment often can be the case. We're working with our air traffic controllers. That's kind of the buzz right now with so many incidents happening nationwide. We have such a good team of air traffic controllers that are dedicated to what's happening here in Provo. That's one thing that we're working on, is they are short-staffed, and that's not just here in Provo, but that's nationwide.
Yeah.
And so we're super excited to see what's happening kind of on the national level to get these guys some help and get them the resources that they need to make sure that our traveling public is safe, and that as they approach an airport, they know, okay, now this is the safest part of my flight, even though takeoff and landing is normally not the safest part of travel, but we want to do our part to make sure that the environment is the safest that it absolutely can be. And then also security. We have a great relationship with the TSA, our security, our checkpoint personnel, but also our inspectors, which is kind of the unseen part of the TSA, where we meet with them on a weekly basis and go over fence lines and hangars and any area that could present a potential risk, and we make sure that we're doing all of those things that keep our facility safe.
We have police, fire. I mean, we
Absolutely.
are, and they love being out here.
Yeah,
they absolutely love working for you out here.
Well, it's a great point. We have some public safety professionals here that are now stationed at the airport. We have full-time police officers here in the terminal. We have full-time firefighters that are on duty here on the airport. And that just goes to increase our responses time in the event of an incident, but also meeting those requirements for safety.
Doing so many amazing things. I have loved this journey because I've been able to learn so much about an airport and what it takes to build one and run one, and then meeting with the FAA, all of their requirements, and how we are so, hand in hand with them in order to make this happen. It's just been such a fascinating journey for myself, selfishly, to be able to be a part of this and learn so much about the airport.
Well, and for me as well, just seeing all levels of government work together in the way that
takes all of us,
that
right?
they should, right? The
I
way
know.
that government should work together for the benefit of us as citizens, and that's a cool part. So I echo what you're saying, is just having been a part of this, just seeing that really the willingness to collaborate and partner and just do what's right to make a facility like this just explode and be super successful.
And I think a lot of folks don't realize that it really does take every level of government. You have to go build relationships in Washington, D.C. with the FAA and then our federal delegation, then with our state, then with our county, then with our MPOs. I mean, you literally have to know what you're doing in order to build those relationships. And it takes years to build those relationships.
Absolutely. And in just a minute to destroy those relationships too.
So we kind of tiptoe around sometimes, but so far we have been just really lucky and blessed with such great relationships. And I think folks will come down here and feel our sincerity and see what we're doing. And, you know, shame on us for getting some money from you and doing a job so good that now we're back to ask for more because we over-exceeded.
Absolutely.
That's a good problem to have.
And we're really doing something that no one does. And it speaks to the FAA's willingness to give us more money in that we're doing our part on the local level and we're not just there with our hand out. And so that goes a long ways in taking advantage of those monies that are available.
And putting them to work.
And putting them to work
quickly.
Quickly, exactly.
We move fast. In case you don't know that about me, Brian, I have this little thing called I don't like to stand still.
I love it.
We move and we move fast. Final question. What can people expect or what is their experience that will be coming forth traveling through the Provo airport? I kind of think with this big new addition, is it going to impact the people coming through, or how are we going to manage all that?
Yeah, so construction is going to be a little bit painful. You know, we designed this facility to expand, but the benefit we had building it versus now is back then we didn't have airlines operating. We didn't have passengers in our way. Well, we have that now. And so construction, I would ask the flying public to be patient with us. You're going to have walkways that are, you know, barricaded off, and you'll be, you know, dust and those sorts of things, and that's normal for construction. But really, our effort is to make the experience equal to what it is today and even better. I think the overwhelming comment I see on the socials and all of those things is, oh, don't let the secret out. Provo is so awesome because of what it is, and we don't want to lose that. That is our mantra is we are different, and we're different in a good way, and we don't want to lose that. And so that's a lot of what we're doing in the expansion is to maintain that, but also to add some amenities, more concessions, more space for people to come in and just enjoy and really forget that they're traveling on an airplane. I know for me that's the worst part, is actually getting on the plane.
I know, you're just so hilarious. I hired you as my airport director, and then your cute wife was like, you know, he hates to fly. I'm like, wait, what? But we're getting you over that.
Absolutely. So, but just so much about the experience can ease people's, you know, there are a lot of people that are anxious and being welcoming, because half of our people are coming here, right? They're not just leaving, they're coming and passing through quickly. So we want to be welcoming and be that first. You talked about being an ambassador. This facility, our staff, we're absolutely ambassadors and a gateway to the city. And our goal is to represent the city as well as anyone and better than anyone, and really show people what Provo's all about.
I love it. That's a great note to end on. What a great closer. You're awesome.
Thank you,
Thanks
Mayor.
for all you do. I mean, you have just been a gift to me in my leadership, so thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
This airport is coming, and it is going to be amazing, and we just can't wait. So we just want to say to the citizens, everybody buckle up, because more excitement is coming your way.
So one thing we're proud of, Mayor, is our new website that you've worked so hard on, and that's.
Well, I have a team.
You
I'm
do.
not that smart, but I have a smart team.
But that has been a huge thing for the airport as well. Our web page was lacking. It was probably the worst in the industry as far as airports go. And so thank you so much for what you've done. And so we just encourage everyone to get on. If you have any questions about the airport, you'll likely find it on the website. If not, you'll figure out how to contact us and get those answers that you're looking for.
Yeah, it's exciting. With us growing up with this airport now, we're a player. So we needed our website to reflect that.
Absolutely.
And that was one of the reasons it was part of our Big Six, was because you can't keep winning accolades and doing all these great things and then have just a junky website.
Absolutely. And
So,
it's beautiful. And your
it's
team
beautiful.
did an amazing job, and we're super proud of it. So.
Oh, good. Well, we're excited. It literally, we tell people all the time, just jump on it and book your flight to Italy. It's so crazy when you get on it and see that you've, out of the Provo airport, you're flying to Italy.
Yep.
And out of the Provo airport, you're flying to New Zealand. It's just so great.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Brian.
Thanks, Mayor.